Hi guys! Holy trees. We are already into November. Can you guys believe it? I really can't that we are at the end of almost at the end of the year. And I kept with my themes of magical creatures. So this month we are going to jump into and do a basilisk. Yes, basilisk theme. And I started to, in the past few months, do a theme where it was um, like it was Newt Scamander's magical creature book and where it had facts about them, and I really like that. So we're going to continue on with that, show you how I did my setup. I do it for the whole month. And are you guys ready to jump right in? I am. Let's go. So the cover page is really fun. This is probably my favorite cover page of the entire year. And I'm really excited that we're almost done because I'm excited to get into my new bullet journal. But I wanted to finish it off with a bang, 2022. So we have a really cool one for this theme for this month and for next month. But the basilisk, I really wanted to do it because of the green coloration. And it was really interesting because I got to see our work with 3 different mediums on this cover page. So I tried to do the watercoloring and it worked really good for the green color, but for his frill, I couldn't get the red coloration, probably because I had a green base. But I couldn't get it quite to the color I wanted, so I brought in using colored pencils, which actually made it that much better, I thought, mixing the different mediums. And then I also used markers for the scales. And I think it turned out exactly the way I wanted it to because it looks like a magical creature entry. Like I'm marking down where the venom is and the coloration, the size, the lifespan, all of that is in there. And so it just makes me smile every time I flip to that page to look at it. It definitely is interesting. And I wanted to play with watercolors. This is the first time I messed with watercolors in 10 years. And it was really interesting to see the way that the watercolors worked with the different types of paper. It also was interesting to see how the colors came out and kind of blend them and do different shades with the same color. I'm used to working with batiks, so working with watercolors was similar but a little different, and so it was kind of fun for me just to try a new medium. And I want to use a lot of watercolors in my new bullet journal, so I thought might as well play. But overall, the cover page turned out really great, and I like the way that it came out for sure. I don't know if you guys know a lot about basilisk, but Jay does, and she usually keeps me in line with my facts about the different magical creatures. So it's kind of fun and interesting to see her expressions. She does not really like bullet journals, but I always show her my bullet journals just to get her viewpoint on how they look. And she really liked the cover page a lot. She was really excited about it. So that made me happy because, you know, she's not really into bullet journals, but she likes the artwork that I put on them, which usually I find artwork online to give me inspiration or that I can use as a template because my schedule is so crazy. And it makes way less stress to use templates, so that way I can just focus on creating art for the business and not so much focus on trying to figure out what I'm going to do for the bullet journals. And now that we're into the calendar setup here, I decided to do a 2-page spread. Lately I've been doing just 1 page, but I decided to go 2 pages. And I really, really like the spiders across the whole page. Jay hates spiders to the extreme, but she was the one that told me to just very lightly watercolor the black on because it almost makes them look like they're coming out of the page. And I'm not sure if you can quite see that detail in the video, but I really like the way the spiders crawl across the page. It just makes my day. But the calendar spread, I'm trying to see the variations between the one-page setup versus the two-page spread to see which one works the best for me. I'm thinking it's going to vary for month to month depending on how busy and how much I fill my schedule. But we'll see. And I also added in the green color to tie it to the basilisk. And with the projects page that we're now on, I tried to do spaces between the dots this time. And the reason I did that was so that I could actually do little actions underneath. So the big dots will be the project I have, and then I'm going to leave space underneath, 2 lines or maybe more next month, but 2 lines to do little actions to complete that project, because the action list helps on the other side, but that's actually to me a little bit different. And so we have on projects the home, library, YouTube, art, business, and other, and then on the action monthly, bi-weekly, weekly, and daily. And then we started to do a language page, an Anishinaabe language page. This is me trying to learn my language. And so I have it set up to different sections that I'm trying to focus on for the whole month. So practice reading is the top one with a little book. Practice speaking with quotes. Practice writing with a little pencil. Use the app daily. So I have a couple of Anishinaabe Ojibwe apps that I want to try and use daily. And then learn new vocab. So I want to try and incorporate new words into my everyday speaking. And then watch a video. So this one's a little bit harder, but I do find some videos on YouTube for my language. So I'm hoping that I might find more. And then the weekly setup is with the Phoenix. And I did another watercolor, and this paper here is like 80 GSM, so it bleeds through a little bit, but I'm okay with that. And I tried to keep it with like the fancy script to make it look like it's still part of the journal entries. And I kind of like the way that it came out with just the basic coloration of the Phoenix. And I decided to try and do a little to-do list on the side to see if I liked that setup for myself. But I'm going to see, because usually I just like to fill out in the days. I don't really like to do the to-do list. But I do like the setup so far. And then for the last one, we're jumping into... I don't know what happened. Something happened and I couldn't do the other weeks, but you'll see them in the flip-throughs. I don't know what happened with recording. But anyway, so we jump into the last few weeks of November, and I tried to do some circles to kind of give it interesting. I really like the way the F came out on this page. I don't know what it is, but it just looks really cool. And I did a skull, and then I did a basilisk on the other side. And I just kind of kept him a little bit more simpler, a little bit more plain. He's like the basilisk from Harry Potter. And then I tried a different setup for the pages. Overall, the setup for this month has been really fun to try and play with the watercolors and the color pencils and the markers to try and work with everything together. So it was really fun to use the different mediums, and I'm probably going to continue doing that for the future bullet journal pages. We'll see. But overall, I'm really happy with the way it came out, and I really like using the bullet journal. It just makes it easy. I mean, obviously sometimes we don't always keep up with it, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, for our flip through, I really like the way this came out. I used watercolors, markers, colored pencil, and my fine liners, and this is probably one of my favorite pages out of this entire year of bullet journaling because of the coloration that came out. It just looks really pretty. Then I love all the different spiders. I did a little bit of coloration on a couple of them, and then did the coloration of green to bring in the basilisk color on the ideals, finances, and then the numbers and the days. And then for the projects, I changed my layout a little bit from last month, not year. And I gave myself a little bit of space to write the main project, but also the task that might be involved within that project underneath it. That's why there's 2 lines in between each dot. So I can write my main task and then write my main project and then write a couple of tasks underneath, except for the YouTube setup. So then I put the setups in Notion. And then the action I did monthly. I started last month doing the bi-weekly task, but this time I put it in the correct order, weekly task. And then the only 3 daily tasks I really want to keep track of is my marketing, if I'm working on business aspects, and my wellness, my physical fitness stuff. And then Anishinaabe. This is me learning my language. So I have practice reading, practice speaking, practice writing, use the app daily, learn new vocab, and watch a video. And I have this in October, but I added it later in the month. So this is probably the first time anyone's seeing this, but I did it for October as well. And then for the monthly, I just did a couple of different layouts of a to-do list along with just writing out the month. And then I have it in boxes with big numbers. I do have a little bit of bleed through, but I'm okay with that. This, I tried to do some boxes. I left this space here because I'm not sure if I'm going to add anything else. And I loved using the metallic marker because it made it look like a real mirror. And then for November, for this month of November, I just decided to do some bubbles and write the task beside it. We'll see how this one works. I really like it to be defined, such as this with boxes. So I'm not sure I'll quite like this layout, but we'll see. And then I just did the boxes with the numbers and the basilisk on the last one. There is bleed through as well on this page, but I'm okay with that because this is my memory page. So I'll probably have some other pages, paper on top of this, so it'll be okay. So that is the monthly flip through. What area did you like the best of the monthly flip through? I really liked the cover page. That was my favorite part. And I like trying different layouts to see which ones work best for me. I do like the 1-page layouts, but maybe either next month or starting next year, I might do a couple of 2-page, but it almost seems like the 1-page are enough for me as for keeping track of my weeklies. All right, well, I'll see you in the next video.